Every time I get a gun screwed up in Africa, it's after somebody was carrying it for me.
But that's the norm over there. So
That's the norm. I mean, this is a 13-pound rifle empty without the sling. So loaded with the sling, I'm sure it's 14 pounds or more. Hi folks, Tim Sundles here, and my beautiful wife Kim is filming on my iPhone. I set out the stuff that I'm taking to Botswana to elephant hunt, just in case there's interest on what it takes to do an African hunt. And I shouldn't lump all African hunts together because there's a lot of different terrain, a lot of different environments on the African continent. But for northern Botswana, where I'm going, this is my gear list, and I just want to go over it with you quickly. These are Danner boots. These are new style Danner boots. They're not your grandfather's Danners. Very comfortable, and they've got a fairly hard sole on them. I'm going to be walking in sand, but I have, from years and years of abusing my feet, stuff I've done like kicking bricks and kicking boards, and my poor feet, I get plantar fasciitis now because of all the scar tissue in my right foot especially. So I wear hard-soled boots, so when I walk over rocks and gravel, I don't feel them poking up into my feet. These are Under Armours. Same story, this is not a lightweight pair of Under Armours. These are hard-soled, heavier Under Armours. And then a pair of Keens that are just, you know, for comfort if I get sick of the boots. And again, these are for Keens, these are hard-soled. These UFOS slides, I'm just taking them along just in case I want to air my feet out around camp. I can just walk around in these. So your footwear is really important, especially the kind of elephant hunting I'm getting ready to do, because you could easily be hiking 15 miles a day or more. And the way we hunt these elephants is we drive the sandy roads until we see what looks like a really big bull track, and then we track them. Well, elephants are easy to track, but they're hard to keep up with. They walk fast. So the only way you're gonna catch an elephant like that is to keep up a good pace and hope he stops to eat or stops to sleep somewhere. Then you can catch him. And of course, you catch him and find out he's got one broken tusk, or he's big in the feet, but he's not big in the tusks, or whatever. And you keep that up day after day after day until you find the bull that you're willing to shoot. So footwear is just very, very important. I'm taking 4 pair of socks. And the reason I'm only taking 4 pair of socks is because that area, they set up really deluxe wilderness camps, and they've got washing machines, dryers. They've got a person that comes to your tent every day and picks up your dirty clothes and washes it and returns them all folded the next day. So it's deluxe hunting. The camp is probably close to a 5-star camp. You know, it'll have a full-time chef. It's very different than hunting in the Rockies. And I mean, you're not roughing it in Africa usually if you pay for one of these outfitted elephant hunts in northern Botswana.
Or Tanzania.
Or my wife's still complaining about the food that we had in Tanzania on our last hunt up there. That's the only thing she has against Mark Sullivan, was his chef and the menu.
No ice, no food. Pretty bad.
So anyway, jackets. These are super lightweight fleece jackets. This one's a filler with down, and these jackets are important for layering. You can have mornings up there that with Fahrenheit temperatures are actually sub-zero, and then by mid to late afternoon it's going to be 80, 85 degrees this time of year. This is their winter in Botswana. A coat like this will never be worn exterior. It's always a layer for interior, because the thorns and the brush will rip this thing to pieces. But I bring it along because it weighs nothing, and it's a good layer. While we're on jackets and shirts, one button-up shirt, and it's the right kind of colors. One tank top, and then shirts, these little pullover jobs. I've got 3 different types, styles, and materials. I like these synthetics. They breathe. If they get wet, they dry. That one's an Under Armour. This one is a, geez, I'm horrible.
Sitka.
Yeah, this is a Sitka. This one is another Under Armour. And you'll notice all of them, even though it's going to be warm, all of these are long sleeved. The tsetse flies are driving me nuts. I just don't roll my sleeves up. I've gotten used to going up there. That last trip to Tanzania, you know, the tsetse flies were horrible. Long sleeves, and tsetse flies can bite through this, but you probably get rid of 90% of them by having long sleeves. At least, you know, the bites on your forearms. Two spare of heavy cotton pants. In the Rockies, I don't even wear cotton unless I'm just out messing around. And these are the right colors again. Plus the pants that I wear, which will be a pair of pants like these. The cotton is just real resistant against all the thorns and the nasty, nasty, nasty brush. In case I get in the mood, a pair of shorts. I don't generally hunt Africa in shorts. I've done it plenty. I just as soon protect my legs from all the tsetse flies and the thorns and all the other bugs and stuff. So I rarely wear shorts.
And the black mambas.
Yeah, I think they'll have no problem biting through these pants. 4 pair of underwear and just an outer safari jacket. Now, in jackets, 9 times out of 10, an extra large fits me. This is an XXL because if I do wear it, it will be worn over other shirts and jackets just as layering. But I go again with this cotton. It doesn't get torn to pieces by the thorns. I mean, yeah, you can tear them, you know, with all that nasty brush, but generally these cotton hard outer shells are the way to go. So that's it for the clothes. This little backpack will go along. You know, if you're going to walk 15 miles in a day, hopefully you're walking to where you can get an old 4-wheel drive road that goes around the other way. But if not, you know, I can put several bottles of water in here. I can shed a couple jackets and throw in there. And I can throw a little bit of spare ammo or whatever in there. Maybe some medicines, which I'm going to get into here. This is the ammo. You're allowed to take 11 pounds. So there's 18 rounds of 577 nitro and 60 rounds of 416 Rigby. You have to put it in a locking case, which then goes inside your suitcase. So the lock on the ammo case and the lock on the rifle case use the same key to avoid delays at airports and confusion and stuff. But so there's 11 pounds of ammo. You know, I would love to take more and leave it for people up there that can't get ammo, but thank goodness the government's here helping us. 11 pounds, you know, that's it. Well, you want to see what loads they are? Let's see. Some of them are upside down, backwards, crisscrossed, but...
Wait, what's this one? That's not the right one.
Which one are you looking for? The 577?
It's not going to say it on there.
It's 577.
Okay.
The label's just small.
Sorry, guys. I don't. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
So you've seen the clothes, you've seen the ammo, just a few accessories. In this briefcase, this is modern day international hunting. I've got visas, passports, I've got all the paperwork showing where I'm hunting, for how long, with whom, everything that you need to prove, crossing. I mean, I'm going to cross several international borders, and I've got everything in there to prove who I am, what my business is, et cetera, et cetera. Carry, a phone charger, so when you're on your plane, you can charge your phone and stuff, and just all the paperwork. Lots of spare cash, because you need to tip people along the way. It's just good to have tip cash. And the Benjamin Franklin works in every country. Everybody understands what a Benjamin is.
And we fly Qatar because we love Qatar. We actually trust Qatar, sadly to say, more than our own airlines here in America. They don't have DEI. Probably you get your head cut off. Who knows if you don't do your job or show up on time, or we just feel much safer. And we've been doing it for probably, 6 years now.
Yeah.
We fly Qatar from either Dallas or usually Dallas, and go to Doha and then on to South Africa. So it's a little bit out of the way. But
And on this trip, it'll be to South Africa, then to Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're going to be right up northern Botswana against the
Mozambique.
Zimbabwe to the east, and then it's even further to the east is Mozambique, Zambia. We're going to be right on the border of Zambia. There's big national parks there that never get hunted, and so when the elephants overrun their food source in the national park, which they do because they overpopulate, they wander on down into northern Botswana looking for more territory, and that's the area we hunt for giant elephant. They're the biggest elephant in Africa right now, genetically speaking, and the fact that they don't have nearly the hunting pressure on them. And you can kill 70 to 100 pound tuskers in that part of Botswana. My minimum is 70. Sure, I'd rather have a 90, but I'll shoot 70. This is my ammo belt that I'll wear right on the outside of my clothes, with a knife, and this is a spare one I can fill with ammo and just throw in the backpack if I want. This is just a few cotton pads and some oil, in case I get to feeling sentimental and start worrying about the condition of my guns. I can oil the outside of them and just keep them from rusting. I'm horribly neglectful. I care more about the mechanics. I really don't care how they look on the outside, because I don't want the distraction of having to worry about my rifle. If I scratch it, or if my sweaty hands get rust all over the barrel, I don't want that kind of stuff on my mind on this trip. Now, maybe after dinner at night, when you're back at the lodge, maybe you might wipe all the salty sweat oils, or skin oil off with a little bit of protective oil. So I'd bring that along. This is my wife looking after me. These are all the vitamins and minerals that I need to be gone for 3 weeks in vitamin form. You just rip off the top and squirt them into your mouth. This is the expensive stuff that actually works. My wife researches all that. I just take what she tells me. If she ever decides to poison me, it's going to be real easy, because no matter what she hands me and tells me to do with it, I just do it.
Those are tamper-proof, babe. I haven't tampered with those yet.
Yeah, these.
Yeah.
And so here's a bag of anti-inflammatories. I broke my back when I was 20 or 21. All I did was fracture a facet joint, but all the scar tissue and the spinal stenosis that's followed, someday I gotta have a fusion. So I carry anti-inflammatories. For if I'm gonna walk 15 miles a day, I guarantee at some point my lower back and my hips will start screaming at me because of the spinal stenosis. So you just take the anti-inflammatories, it ends that. I've got stuff here for malaria and for tick fever and just that kind of stuff, because that's not a bad malaria area. But if you've ever had tick fever, and I've had it, you can't tell the difference between that and malaria. It's horrible stuff. And, you know, with our weak American immune systems would probably kill you. It kills people in Africa every year, and they've got strong immune systems. And I'm talking about guys that will drink water out of stagnant pools full of hippo crap and crocodile crap and elephant crap, and the water's the color of human feces, and they'll just, you know, fill up an old soda bottle and drink it. Those guys are strong. They weren't immunized like we were 100 times over when we're born. I'm not even sure all that stuff's very good for us. It's probably why there's so much mental illness and problems in America these days, is the child vaccinations.
And then they make your food with the same hands they drink the water with them.
Yeah, they'll turn right around and feed you something with hippo shit on their hands.
We got sick, twice in Tanzania,
We
but
did.
you survived, you're fine, and you probably are
just barf a little
stronger.
and have the runs for a little while.
It's all good. Lose some weight, it's all good.
These knives these are all cold steel. This is an Outdoorsman, this is a Voyager, and this is an Espada. And these knives I carry in town. I don't carry them while I'm out hunting. These are more fighting knives. In Africa, if you're a white American, you know, you have my accent, you can easily be a victim. I can't carry a handgun around, and I've done the turn the other cheek thing a million times in my life. Well, I hate thieves, I hate robbers, and I hate muggers, and I'm all done with that turn the other cheek under certain circumstances. So these are just for carrying. I carry them both at the same time, and if I have, it's just like boxing. If I fight with these, I can just do a little slash like that on your face, it'll cut you wide open. So that's what these are for, is just basically carrying in public. I really like this Espada. It's got finger locks on it and stuff. You can fight with it like you're a boxer and not lose retention. Really like it. Lynn Thompson did an excellent job designing that. Gloves, just super light gloves. I don't get cold hands very easy, nor do I get cold feet. But a little pair, you know, these gloves weigh maybe 2 or 3 ounces. I'm gonna take them just because they're Under Armour gloves. Flashlights. I've got one hand flashlight and one visor flashlight here with several spare batteries. It's just good to have with you. It's just, you know, for the power outages up there, the camp will be powered by generator, but generators break down, things go wrong, they can't get fuel in, whatever. I just take flashlights. That's something I do in the Rockies too. The rifles. This 416 has been all over Africa. This is a Vernie Caron. It was what do you call exhibition model? It's the third one that Vernie Caron ever made as an exhibition model, and I saw it at an SCI convention years ago and talked to the people whose booth it was in, and I said, well, if it ever comes up for sale, I'm interested. And they called me a couple of years later and said it's for sale. And so I bought an exhibition model to hunt with. It is beat up. I do not baby my guns. I mean, I throw them in rifle racks. You see all the bluing gets worn off. I don't abuse them, but I don't want to be distracted by caring for a nice rifle. So I love this Vernie Caron. If it has any fault, it's got a super tight chamber on it. And by the way, every round of that ammo that's 416, I chambered in this gun just to make sure. And every round of the 577, I chambered in my 577 Outshar. I'm only bringing the 416 Rigby because I also have Kudu on my license, and because if my 577 were to break, which has happened to me, I've got the 416 with solids, and all the ammo I brought is solids. It's the CEB solid brass solids that CEB makes. And so if I have to use this for elephant, I can, but I've also, like I said, I've got Kudu on my license. And you never know, you might run into a situation where they want to, the government comes in and says, we got to kill a couple control elephants. And, then this is probably the rifle I'd use, because I don't really care on the control elephants, about being super sporting. But my trophy bull, I'll be using this 577 Outshar. And I will get very, very close and bring the elephant. I'm not interested in shooting an elephant any other way. To me, at my age, it's more about how you do it than just killing an elephant. And then the rifle case. And, oh, by the way, there's an extra sling for the 416 right there that I'll throw in the suitcase. Slings are a blessing and a curse, at least with this sling. If I want to glass something, I can throw the rifle over my shoulder and glass instead of looking for some place to lean the rifle or whatever, and I can use both hands to steady the binoculars. But slings get caught on brush and other things. Not a good idea on a dangerous game rifle. And if I get in thick brush or think I'm going to be, in real tight quarters, I'll probably take the sling off anyway. They pop right off. So
let's talk about that. You don't allow any of the trackers to hold your
I don't
rifle.
let trackers hold my guns. Every time I get a gun screwed up in Africa, it's after somebody was carrying it for me.
But that's the norm over there. So
that's the norm. I mean, this is a 13-pound rifle empty without the sling. So loaded with the sling, I'm sure it's 14 pounds or more.
Most of the PHs let the trackers carry their rifles.
Yes, and I just don't. It's my rifle. Keep your little hands off of it. At least if it's in my hands, I know if it's been dropped or whatever's happened to it. This rifle really fits me. I've killed charging animals with it before, and it's not my best 577. My best one is a Holland and Holland Royale, but I imported it to Africa, and it's sitting over there in customs. And this rifle
has been for a year.
Yeah, this rifle I just have a lot of experience with. The sights line up good for me. Kim saw me kill a charging buffalo last year at about from here to those glass doors. And I had time for one shot, even with a double rifle. I seriously doubt I could have, reached the second trigger in time. Maybe I could have. So the rifle has a history with me, and when they have a history with you, they become yours, a part of you. You trust them. The way this rifle case works is I just wadded up a couple of bath towels on the bottom to give cushion, and you just put your guns in your gun cases and slide them in there. And I can usually fit 2 big guns in here and 1 small one, like a little Ruger 1022. And you want this thing solid packed. Usually I'll stuff other stuff in it, like my toiletries. By the way, my toiletry kit is not here. Hang on. Not that you care what's in it, but here it is. This toiletry kit will be going with me. I just had to use it this morning when I showered and stuff. So it's not laying out here with the other stuff.
So explain the container that we use for our guns.
Who's the maker of these, babe? This is Tough Pack, made by...
That doesn't even tell.
Is that who makes it right there?
That's not even it.
Oh, anyway, it's a Tough Pack.
Here we go.
Is the name.
But what we like about these, somebody had let us know how horrible it is to fly, not only in our country, but now internationally with guns, because you get a lot of haters out there that try to run over your guns or throw them or crack the cases or, all the mishaps that may intentionally or non-intentionally happen. And so we had a friend that told us that if you purchase these Tough Packs, that a lot of times the people that are handling your baggage think they are golf clubs, and so they don't do what they may have done had they known they were firearms. And so we seem to.
It would be
have
harder
good
to accidentally
luck.
drive over one of these than it would be like a flat rifle case too, or purposely even.
So we've had really good luck with these. We have 2 of them, and so when we travel, we put them in these cases, and we've been very lucky.
And what's really nice is if you put 2 rifles in here in their zip-up cases, there's room for other stuff. You can stuff a bunch of other stuff in here. And I prefer it packed kind of tight anyway, so nothing's rattling around. Okay, so all of this, except for that briefcase and the rifles, have to fit in here. And you're allowed 70 pounds. I do not want to take another bag, and I'm betting I can get all this in here. If I can't, I'll either leave the little backpack behind, because those PHs up there and stuff, you know, have little backpacks. And if I have to, I'll leave a layer behind, but I should get it all in here. I suppose I could leave one pair of those boots behind. If I did, it would be the Keens. So anyway, we'll start packing it. I have, for friends up there that can't get our magazines here, I have some magazines to give out, because we have neighbors on our South African ranch, bordering neighbors, that are interested in our articles and things about us. So there's articles in here about us. But anyway, that's the gear, and should be a really good, interesting hunt. And I'm finally getting excited. I really hate leaving the Rockies in the summer. In the summer, Rockies are my home. And I don't mind getting out of here in the winter at my age. I get sick of the cold. But in the summer, I hate leaving, leave the horses behind. Kim and I have prime time together this time of year to do a little hiking, a little fishing, or just four-wheelering or whatever. And, I don't get to do that when I'm gone for a month.
He cried like a baby last night because he has to leave me.
And Kim lies like a... Anyway, folks, hope it's instructional or informative. This is what I carry for a hunt in northern Botswana, and I would carry the same things for Tanzania, and mostly the same things for South Africa or over in the Kalahari. Mostly the same clothes. So anyway, hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video, and God bless.